Have you got a Woody? Have you got a Woody? A red hot Woody, Woody wood fire oven. Yes, I got a Woody. Yes, I got a Woody. A red.
Welcome back to Tom's Kitchen, and today we're out here with Henry, and Henry is building his slab. He's getting the slab ready for his oven. And Henry, what were you doing? How did you make this slab?
Okay, what we did first, Tom, is we worked out the dimensions of the slab, and this slab here is 2.4 metres long by 1.4 metre wide.
I'll just bring the camera down to it.
And by 100 mil thick.
Oh.
And so we worked out the dimensions, and that worked out to about 38 bags of pre-mixed concrete. I went and bought a concrete mixer because I'm going to need it all through this process for $370, and the cement worked out roughly at about $180. So bought a bit of Rio bar for about $60, laid it all in. As you can see, we did a bit of formwork, and it took us about 3 hours, two of us, to lay this slab.
Oh my God, you did it very well. That was very fast.
Yeah, it was. Now we'll leave that for a week to cure, and then we'll go back to, and as you can see, I've already got the blocks there.
Oh yes, the blocks over here.
And as you can see, in a week's time, I'll lay the first 3 layers of blocks, and then I'll put the lintels in, and then I'll actually work out how the pizza oven's going to sit on the...
They're limestone blocks, Henry, are they?
They're limestone blocks, cost roughly about $3.50 each, Tom, down here from Remmerstone in Beaver Lake.
All right.
And yeah, in a week's time we'll be ready to go for the next phase.
And Henry, are you going to use the patio tube in the way we do it for the framing?
Similar.
Okay.
The principle's going to be the same, but because this will have actually the wood to be stored in the front, just in the front.
All right. Yep.
The back is going to be also a storage area, and you won't be able to see that.
Right.
So it'll be
and that's your cellar that there at the back that you walk down.
I'm actually using the oven as a kind of rail, so people don't fall into the steps for the cellar. That's worked out quite well.
Fantastic. Oh, that's great, Henry. What we'll do is we'll come back when you're building when you've got some of the block work done. We'll come back and we'll take another shot of video, okay?
Yeah, love to have you, Tom.
And thanks for that. Thank you.
Good on you.
And here we're back at Henry's place, and Henry doesn't know we're coming today, so we're going to surprise Henry, and hopefully we get him building the block work, but I'm not sure what he's doing. We'll see how we go. And I'm just going to check now is Henry building his oven. But Mary's here, his wife. Mary, is he building the oven?
Yes, he is.
Yes? Oh,
Yes.
And we'll sneak in on him. What do you reckon?
Yes,
Okay.
good idea. He doesn't know you're here anyway. Here you go.
Henry!
Hey, Tom, how are you?
You're building the oven. You knew we were coming, but you didn't know we were bringing the camera around, did you?
Finally caught me working. How are you? Good to see you.
You didn't know we were bringing the camera, did you?
I shortened the trip. How are you?
So, oh my God, this looks very good. What have you? You have different compartments here. What are you doing here?
Well, I started this morning, and as our last talk, we first had the cement pad down, and
Right.
then we talked about building the block. I've chosen the sandstone blocks because they're easy, and if you want to make a couple of mistakes, they're easy to cover up on these as well, rather than perfect brickwork.
Henry, we don't want any mistakes.
No, of course not.
We don't want any cover-ups.
No.
It's a very important piece of it, okay?
Of course not. So what's happened is I started this morning about 7 o'clock, started laying the blocks. First I had to get the first few blocks level and angled, and that's it. One of the problems that I did come across was the blocks are very heavy and they sink. That means that squashes the cement out and get different levels. We've overcome this by putting wooden blocks at
very
20 mil,
good.
which is a good distance, so you just put one in like that. I'll just lay a block now to show you how effective it is. And there, the cement is obviously proud.
But Henry, this looks very professional, what you've been doing here.
Well, it's the first time round, Tom. So
This is the first time you've laid
yeah,
blocks.
I'm a novice at this, so...
Well, okay, I believe you because I think you're an honest man, but other than that, I would find it hard to believe because that looks very, very, very professional.
And there you go. And that gives you your perfect levels.
Look at that.
And all you've got to do is do it by eye.
Gee, that's a fantastic idea for people who are doing their own, Henry, to know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you just fill in the joints.
Yep, well the joints are already, as you can see, the cement is proud, so it's stuck on underneath.
Oh, very good.
And then you just fill in the gaps. And the beauty of this sandstone stuff is you don't have to get your gaps perfect until the end. As you can see on the gaps in there, so long as they're all cemented together,
Yes.
then the last thing you do is go and fill in all the gaps. Okay, so you can see I've done a bit at the front where I finished that off. That's the end product, but that's what it's like when you first lay it.
Oh, very good. And you did this all this morning? From this
All this morning, yeah.
Oh, wow.
All this morning. Once you've set out your measurements, you just go ahead.
But if Henry, if you've done it for the first time, and then anybody can do it. It's only
We hope.
what do you had, 4 or 5 hours?
Yeah, about 6 hours today, wasn't it, Mary? So yeah, it did about 6 hours.
But Mary was probably the one that was doing all the work behind the scenes, and
She was.
she didn't say anything, eh? Well, Henry, that's fantastic. You're doing an absolutely fantastic job. What we'll do is we'll come back when you start building the oven,
Absolutely.
and we'll see how good you are at building the oven.
Well,
Because
the tricky part now, obviously, is to get the oven, get the thing set up for the oven.
Yes.
So that's to put in your steel bars and everything like that. So,
where the oven is going actually on this one here, is it?
well, what's going to happen is it's going to be all one level at the top, with the oven protruding out of the bit. So the oven will be wider than that.
Oh, I see what you're doing now.
And
Yes.
so it's one flat top.
Right.
So how we set out the steel work and the framework to actually receive the oven
Right.
will be probably on the next thing round. So I'll get this up to a level and get all the steel work ready, and perhaps then you want to come round and we can show you viewers exactly how to set up the steel work.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, that'd be great. Because a lot of people, I find a lot of people struggle with this section here. They think it's a far bigger job than it really is, and you've proven that it's not a big job at all.
No, not at all. I mean, if you're a little bit handyman inclined, it's good. Even a novice, if he takes his time, can battle through it. And it doesn't have to be as big as this.
But where did you get your expertise when you were a general engineer in...
Not at all.
You told me you were.
No. I'm a museum manager, so I certainly haven't got the hands.
Well, a
on it.
museum manager certainly can do a good job laying blocks, that's all I can say. Well, Henry, we'll come back when you're doing the steel work. Thanks very much, and we'll see you very soon. Okay, thank
Thanks
you.
a lot, Tom. Cheers. Good on you, Sean. Hi guys, well here we are, we're now on day 4 of my pizza oven build, and so far we've managed to lay the concrete slab, we've managed to put up the base of the pizza oven out of this sandstone block, and now what I've done over the last day is to fit out the steel structure in order so we can put a hardy board on top of this and able then to put the pizza oven on top. If you have a look at the structure as it's formed out cost me around about $160 for all the steel, and that was brand new. What we've done here is also put steel supports on internal walls, so that it really gives it a lot of support and there'll be no chance of movement in the future. My next step in this process is to put the hardy board down, and then the next time you'll be seeing me when we actually start to build the pizza oven on the hardy board, and that'll be in day 5. So we'll see you then.
Have you got